If we look up into the night sky, we see all of the stars, planets, and other space oddities that make up our universe. But have you ever wondered what's actually out there beyond what we can see? Or even more profound, what came before the Big Bang? But in reality, this is simply because our technology isn't advanced enough to see any further. If you were to travel back in time at the speed of light, it would take you exactly 13.8 billion years back to the beginning of time, or what scientists refer to as the Big Bang. This is because everything in the universe began with the Big Bang, including time itself. There was no time before this event. At this stage, there was no space or time as we know it. You'd probably see mostly hydrogen and helium gas. The first stars wouldn't appear until about 200 million years after the Big Bang. In a sense, you could say that the universe was dark for hundreds of millions of years after the Big Bang. But eventually the first stars began to shine and the universe became illuminated. Some scientists believe that these other universes may have different physical laws and constants, which means they could have different forms of matter and energy. Others believe that these other universes are parallel universes that exist alongside our own. In this case, there would be an infinite number of universes, each with its own unique set of circumstances. All of the stars would have gone out, leaving you in total darkness. Some scientists believe that the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of the universe, but rather the start of a new beginning. Stars and galaxies would be pulled together and the temperature would begin to rise. You would see the universe as it was in its final moments before it all started over again. This theory is known as the Big Bounce. According to this theory, the universe goes through periods of expansion and contraction. However, that doesn't stop us from trying to understand our place in the universe. By studying the Big Bang and the laws of physics, we can learn more about the amazing world that we live in. So keep looking up at the stars and keep asking questions. Who knows? You may just be the one to unlock the secrets of the universe. During the expansion phase, the universe grows larger and larger. During the contraction phase, the universe begins to shrink. Eventually, the universe reaches a minimum size and bounces back, restarting the cycle of expansion and contraction. You would feel the cold embrace of space as you witness the end of everything. In a sense, you could say that the universe would be at peace. There would be no more war, famine, or disease. What do you think existed before the Big Bang? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. There would be no more joy, love, or hate. There would be nothing. Then suddenly, the universe expanded rapidly. This rapid expansion caused the temperature to cool and matter to form. In another universe, you might have been born in a different place or time. The possibilities are endless. Some scientists believe that the multiverse theory could explain certain anomalies in our own universe, such as the fine-tuning problem. This is the observation that the physical constants of our universe seem to be finely tuned for life. For example, the strength of gravity and the mass of the electron are so perfectly balanced that if either one were slightly different, life as we know it would not be possible. Some believe that this is evidence that our universe is just one of many that support life and that we happen to be living in the one that does. However, this is purely speculative and there is no evidence to support it. We only experience 3 of these dimensions: length, width, and height. This is known as the heat death of the universe. At this point, the universe would be in a state of maximum entropy, meaning that no more work could be done. Everything would be evenly distributed and there would be no more stars, galaxies, or planets. These other universes may have different physical laws and constants, which means they could have different forms of matter and energy. Some scientists even believe that these other universes could support life. Maybe in another universe, dinosaurs never went extinct, or maybe there are multiple universes where humans evolved differently. However, this is all speculation and there is no evidence to support these claims. The other 6 dimensions are curled up so small that we cannot perceive them. One way to think of it is that a garden hose is like the universe having a 4th dimension. If you're far away from the hose, you will see it as a one-dimensional line. But as you approach it, you begin to see its circular cross-section. This is basically the idea that the universe has more dimensions than we can observe. As the universe continued to expand, galaxies and stars began to form. Light began to shine on the universe for the first time. After about 380,000 years, the universe cooled enough for protons and neutrons to combine and form the first atomic nuclei. Over billions of years, gravity caused these nuclei to collapse and form the first stars and galaxies. That means if you were to travel at the speed of light to the beginning of time, you would literally be traveling to the beginning of time itself. And what existed before the Big Bang is unknowable. The true size of the universe is unknown, but it could extend infinite miles past our observable universe. However, these are just guesses based on mathematical equations and models. There is no way to prove or disprove these theories. But let us imagine that you were somehow able to travel back in time and witness the creation of the universe. What would you actually see? So what might we find if we could see beyond our observable universe? How far back in time could we see if we had the technology to do so? And most importantly, what existed before the Big Bang? Keep watching to find out. These are some of the deepest questions that humans have pondered for centuries. And it seems like every time we learn something new, there are even more mysteries surrounding our existence. It is hard to believe that anything could be outside the observable universe since nothing can travel faster than the speed of light and we cannot see anything beyond that. Time travel. First off, let's discuss time. It is one of the most confusing aspects of all of this. There are some theories about what could have happened before the Big Bang, such as a quantum fluctuation or a collapse of another universe. The birth of the universe. During the Big Bang, the universe was smaller than an atom. It was infinitely dense and hot. If you traveled back in time to witness this, you wouldn't really see much. What existed before this? Well, to answer that question, we need to look at string theory. String theory proposes that the universe has 9 dimensions. If string theory is correct, then there is a possibility that other universes exist beyond our observable universe. Multiverse. The multiverse theory is an extension of string theory. It proposes that our universe is just one of many universes that exist. For example, in one universe, you might have made a different decision that caused you to take a different path in life. Heat death. Eventually, all of the stars in the universe will run out of fuel and go out, leaving the universe in total darkness. If you traveled back in time to witness the heat death of the universe, you wouldn't see much. It would be completely dark and silent. Big bounce. If you were to travel back in time and witness the Big Bounce, you would see the universe collapsing in on itself. Ultimately, we may never know what existed before the Big Bang. It is a question that has puzzled scientists and philosophers for centuries. Do you believe there is something beyond our observable universe?